Okay, so what I'm working on, this is the decking, the narrow piece that goes in front of the engine. And what I've been working on is framing out basically an area here, because what I'm going to do is have a removable panel. Because in front of the engine, the cooling system, the heat exchanger, to put engine coolant in, because remember it's a closed loop cooling system, which is called freshwater cooling. So in the raw water, what it does is it goes through the heat exchanger and the oil cooler and stuff, but then goes right out the exhaust. But what actually cools the engine goes through the cooling heat exchanger, and it's a engine coolant, just like a regular car basically. And so the cap, the filler cap for that is like, I guess this is the back, so it's like right here. And so I needed some way of accessing that. And so I've been working on this. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna hinge this. I don't really want to hinge it. So I haven't figured that out yet, but I've got to build the inside part, but I'm still working on these. I've got to sand this down, because the way it is with this does not actually sit, I guess perfectly. It's not horizontal there because of the way the shear goes. It's actually, there's an angle. So these pieces are not 90 degrees. You can, I don't know if you can see that, but this part here, 90 degrees, this is up about 3/8 of an inch. And so it's actually sloped. But these boards I have vertical, and then I have to basically contour these boards down. So I'm working on that. What I'm doing right now is these side pieces. This one, I don't know if you can see it. When I originally built this, I didn't have any of this internal framing, and so these were further inward, and I'm going to move them out so there's space evenly between the outer bit and this. So actually, it's nice because I can just slide them out and re-drill holes. I don't have to like redo any woodwork or anything. So that's what's going on right now. And so after I get these repositioned and these kind of contoured down these two edges, then I will work on this inside part, which will be the decking will be over it. And so my longitudinal strips, I'm going to do the deck that way. They will also be across here, but they'll just be a little gap here. So that's what's going on right now. So I'm still working on this narrow strip of decking here. Almost fell there. And so this part, if you remember, when it's done, it's actually going to be removable. In case I have to pull the engine, I mentioned that. It's been quite some time ago. But I should hopefully never have to do that, but it will be removable. But what I'm now working on is I moved that support and that one there. I talked about that before, I think. And so I've got this framing around this opening here, and what this will allow me to do is this part will be removable, and that'll give me access to the fill for the coolant, engine coolant, and then also for the air filter, and then just if I kind of need to get access from the top, maybe the belt or something like that. But so then of course over this will be decking, and then of course there'll be this little gap here, so that'll be removable. I'm not sure how I'm gonna secure that down, make it so it is removable. I'm still thinking through that. But of course there'll be, again, normal decking over it. There's a picture. Of course, that's not showing the utility version. That drawing I don't have hanging up, but that, those strips of decking that'll actually go on the deck, it'll look, like I have the ceilings here. It'll be like that. But I will do that here as well in this narrow section. It's a little less than a foot wide. And then I will do them here too, and just make a gap so that removable part will be removable. So now what I'm going to do next, I decided I think I'm going to go ahead and put deck battens here and here in between these two. The spacing here is a little bit wide because people are going to be crawling over from this front seat. Remember, my buddy's seat will be down there, and that's the way they'll get back and forth, and they may lean on the motor box and lean up here. But I want to make that, it'll be, battens like this. So I'm going to put one in between here, one in between there, and that side too. So that's what's coming next. So I've got the deck battens installed now. Of course, none of this is epoxied. I'll have to do that next. But I'm real happy with how this turned out. Let's see if we can get down here a little bit of an angle. A little lower angle like that. And of course, this will be nice, again, for access down in there, if need be. Oops. And the way I have this is the gap around there will be, it's an 1/8 of an inch gap around there. So I am happy with how this turned out, and that should provide good, should be nice and sturdy, because again, what's going to go on here, this decking will be 9mm plywood, and then on top of that roughly 6mm strips, like I mentioned last time. So this just should be good and solid for people to crawl over.